Imagine dining in the city's most exclusive restaurant, toasting a billion-dollar deal with your glamorous new girlfriend, when suddenly you spot your ex-wife across the room. Not just any ex-wife. She's pregnant, exhausted, and waitressing in a faded uniform. What happens next will leave you questioning everything about love, betrayal, and second chances. If this story grips you, smash that like button, subscribe for more heart-wrenching dramas, and comment below. Would you give him a second chance? Let's dive in. Alex Thorne adjusted his silk tie as the chauffeur pulled up to Le Ciel, the city's crown jewel of fine dining. At 38, he was the undisputed king of tech. Thorne Innovations had just closed a $2.3 billion merger with a European AI firm, and tonight was for celebration. His date, Victoria Lang, slid out of the limo in a red gown that hugged her curves like it was painted on. She was 29, a rising model influencer with 5 million followers and exactly the type of arm candy that turned heads in his world. "Darling, you look like you're about to conquer another empire," Victoria purred, linking her arm through his as they entered. The restaurant was a symphony of luxury. Crystal chandeliers casting golden flecks on marble floors, the faint melody of a live pianist weaving through the air, and the aroma of truffle-infused foie gras teasing the senses. Wait staff in crisp black uniforms glided like shadows, serving patrons who dripped in diamonds and designer labels. They were seated at the best table, corner booth with a panoramic view of the glittering skyline. Alex ordered the 89 Bordeaux without glancing at the menu. Victoria giggled over her champagne flute. "To us," she toasted, her green eyes sparkling. "And to the Paris trip next week. I can't wait to shop on the Champs-Élysées with you." Alex smiled, but it felt mechanical. At the height of his success, with a net worth north of $4 billion, he had everything. The penthouse overlooking Central Park, the private jet, the endless stream of beautiful women. Yet lately, an emptiness gnawed at him, like the deals he closed no longer filled the void. He pushed the thought away, focusing on Victoria's story about her latest photo shoot. That's when it happened. As a waiter cleared a nearby table, Alex's gaze drifted across the room. Behind the sleek bar, polishing glasses with a practiced rhythm, was a woman in a simple black apron. Her hair was pulled into a messy bun, strands escaping like they hadn't seen a stylist in months. She turned slightly, and Alex's world tilted. Elena, his ex-wife. She was wiping down the counter, her movements slow and deliberate. But what stopped his heart was the unmistakable swell of her belly under the apron. At least 7 months pregnant, by his quick calculation. The woman who had once been his everything, the one he discarded like yesterday's news, was here, serving tables in this den of excess. Alex's fork clattered against his plate. Victoria paused mid-sentence. "Alex, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." He forced a laugh, but it came out strangled. "Just thought I recognized someone. Old client, probably." But his eyes stayed locked on Elena. She hadn't noticed him yet. Or if she had, she was ignoring it masterfully. Her face was thinner than he remembered, dark circles framing those hazel eyes he used to lose himself in. A faint scar on her left hand caught the light, from that night years ago when she burned herself cooking dinner, and he dismissed her pain because he was too busy with a late call. Busy with one of his affairs, if he was honest. How had she ended up here? Their divorce was brutal. His lawyers ensured she got nothing, beyond a pittance settlement. He told himself she deserved it for holding him back. Now seeing her like this, a wave of something unfamiliar crashed over him. Regret? Guilt? Or just the shock of seeing his past collide with his polished present? Victoria followed his gaze. "That waitress? She does look familiar. Wait, is that—" "Drop it," Alex snapped, harsher than intended. Victoria's smile faltered, but she changed the subject to the merger. Alex barely heard her. Elena moved to a table, balancing a tray with practiced ease, her belly making the task look Herculean. A customer barked an order. She nodded politely, but he saw the fatigue in her posture. This was Elena Vargas, the brilliant marketer who quit her rising career to support his startup dreams, the woman who believed in him when no one else did. And he repaid her with lies, late nights, and a string of mistresses. The emptiness in his chest sharpened. He excused himself from the table, heart pounding, and weaved through the crowd toward the bar. Elena finally looked up as he approached, her eyes widening in recognition, then hardening like steel. "Alex," she said flatly, not stopping her work. "What do you want?" "We need to talk," he whispered, glancing around. "Elena, you're pregnant?" Her jaw clenched. "Not here. I'm working. Please, just tell me, is it?" She slammed a glass down harder than necessary. "You lost the right to ask that when you walked out. Now leave before you get me fired." A manager shot them a look. Alex backed off, but as he returned to Victoria, his mind raced. This couldn't be coincidence. Was the baby his? How had she hidden it? And why did seeing her like this hurt so much? That night, alone in his penthouse, Alex poured a scotch and dialed his lawyer, Marcus. "Find out everything about Elena Thorne. Know Vargas now, where she lives, who she's with, and if that baby's mine." Marcus sighed. "Alex, you sure? This could open old wounds." "Do it," Alex said, staring at the city lights. But deep down, he knew the wounds had never healed. They were just buried under billions. Alex paced his penthouse like a caged lion, the city skyline mocking his turmoil. Marcus's report arrived by dawn, a slim file that felt like a bomb. "Elena's in a one-bedroom in the outer boroughs," Marcus said over the phone. "Rent's cheap, but she's behind 2 months. Working double shifts at that restaurant and a coffee shop. No new boyfriend on record. Socials are locked, but neighbors say she's alone. Pregnancy confirmed via medical records, 8 months along. Due date matches. Well, it could be yours, Alex. She filed for divorce right after discovering your affairs." Alex sank into his leather couch, the file trembling in his hands. Affairs, plural. The word stung now, though he'd brushed it off back then. Flashbacks hit like waves. He remembered meeting Elena 5 years ago at a tech conference. She was pitching marketing strategies for startups, her passion lighting up the room. They married within a year. She quit her job to support the dream, managing his early PR while he built the empire. But success bred ego. Late nights became meetings with interns, models, anyone who fed his God complex. One memory burned brightest, the night Elena confronted him. She found his phone, text to a mistress. "Elena's so clingy, dead weight now that the company's taking off, can't wait to ditch her." She'd cried, begged him to stop. He laughed it off. "Grow up, Elena. This is how the world works for men like me." The divorce was swift. His lawyers painted her as unstable, ensuring she got minimal alimony. He blocked her, moved on, or so he thought. Now, reading the report, guilt twisted like a knife. No family support, her parents passed young. Savings depleted, and the baby, timelines matched their last night together, a desperate makeup session before the final blow-up. Alex slammed the file down. "How is she surviving?" "Barely," Marcus said. "Hospital bills piling up, pregnancy complications, high blood pressure, stress-induced. Doctor notes say it's from emotional trauma post-divorce." "Alex, this is on you." The line went dead, but the words echoed. Stress he caused, his neglect, his cruelty. It could have hurt the baby. By evening, Alex couldn't stay away. He drove to the restaurant alone, parking across the street. Through the window, he watched Elena, belly prominent, wiping sweat from her brow as she balanced trays. A rude customer snapped. She apologized with a forced smile, but her eyes were hollow. He entered, heart pounding. "Elena, please. 5 minutes." She froze, then pulled him to the back alley. "What do you want, Alex? To gloat? See how far I've fallen?" "No," he said, voice cracking. I saw you. The baby, is it?" "Mine," she cut in, eyes blazing. "You called me dead weight in those texts. Said I was a leech. Why care now? Go back to your penthouse and your models." The words hit like slaps. "I was wrong, Elena. I was an idiot. Let me help." "Help?" She laughed bitterly. You drained our accounts, left me with nothing. I begged you during the divorce. Remember? You said figure it out. Well, I did. Alone. A twist of pain crossed her face. She clutched her belly. Stress from you nearly cost me this baby. Doctors said the high blood pressure from the betrayal. So no, Alex, you don't get to play hero now. She stormed back inside. Alex stood in the rain, soaked and shattered. At home, Victoria called. What's going on? You've been ghosting me since that dinner. He confessed everything, the marriage, the affairs, the pregnancy. I ruined her, Vic, and now the baby's mine. Victoria's voice turned cold. You're obsessed, and honestly, you sound like the villain in your own story. We're done. The call ended. Alex stared at his reflection, a billionaire alone in an empty empire. But as guilt consumed him, a resolve sparked. He found an unread email from Elena sent months ago. You broke me, Alex, but the baby will heal me. Don't contact me, ever. He whispered to the screen, I'm sorry, I'll prove I'm better. Alex couldn't shake the image of Elena's text. If it's you, thank you, but stop watching me. It was a crack in her armor, but also a warning. For days, he tried to focus on Thorne innovations, board meetings, product launches, but his mind wandered back to her tired eyes, the scar on her hand, the baby that was his. He made his first attempt at the restaurant that evening. Parking across the street, he waited until closing, then approached as she locked up. Elena, please, just talk. She didn't turn. Go home, Alex. This isn't your world anymore. The door clicked shut. She vanished inside. The next night he tried again, slipping in as a customer. When she took his order, he whispered, I know I don't deserve it, but let me explain. Her face hardened. Water? Coffee? Or are you leaving? A manager hovered. She walked away without another word. By the third attempt, desperation set in. He waited in the alley after shift, rain soaking his coat. Elena, the supplies, they're from me. I want to help. She paused, umbrella shielding her face. Help? Like you helped by draining our accounts? Leave me alone, or I'll call the police. Her voice cracked slightly, but she strode into the night. The rejections stung, each one a reminder of the wall he'd built. She's right, he muttered to himself, driving home. I earned this. That's when the unraveling accelerated. Distracted in a key investor call, Alex fumbled questions about the merger. Mr. Thorne, are you with us? The lead investor asked. He snapped back too harshly. Yes, damn it, move on. The call ended abruptly. By morning, Thorne's stock dipped 5%. Whispers of CEO burnout hit the news. It was the first crack in his empire, a direct echo of how his betrayal had shattered Elena's stability. If he didn't get his head straight, he'd lose everything, just like she had. The plunge forced action. Marcus over lunch was blunt. You're spiraling, man. Therapy. Now. Or you'll implode like your marriage. Alex resisted at first. Therapy? For weak people. For people who want to change, Marcus shot back. You say you regret hurting Elena? Prove it. Fix yourself first. Reluctantly, Alex booked Dr. Elena Reyes, ironic name, he thought. Her office was understated. Soft lighting, a worn leather couch, no judgment in her eyes. Why are you here, Mr. Thorne? He shifted uncomfortably. I ruined my marriage, cheated, lied, left her with nothing. Now she's pregnant with my kid and struggling. Seeing her broke something in me. Dr. Reyes leaned forward. Broke what? Your ego or your heart? Over the session, he unpacked it. Growing up poor, building the company from nothing. How success turned him arrogant. I mocked her in texts to my mistresses. Called her dead weight. She found them. That's when she left. And how does that make you feel now? Like garbage, he admitted, voice thick. She sacrificed her career for me. I repaid with betrayal, and her health, the stress I caused led to complications. High blood pressure. Could have lost the baby. Dr. Reyes nodded. That's trauma you inflicted. Change starts with owning it. No excuses. Homework. Write a letter to her. Don't send it. Just process. That night, pen in hand, Alex poured out regrets. Elena, you believed in me when I was nothing. I threw it away for ego. I'm sorry for the lies, the pain, the scar I ignored. You deserved better." Tears blurred the ink. For the first time, it wasn't about fixing her. It was about fixing him. Inspired, he ramped up anonymous help. More supplies, prenatal vitamins, a stroller, even rent payment via charity grant. Notes stayed simple, from someone who cares. Meanwhile, back in her tiny apartment, Elena stared at yet another anonymous delivery on her doorstep. At first, she was suspicious. "Is this him?" she asked Amanda over the phone. But necessity won. The vitamins eased her headaches, the stroller meant less strain. Bills paid? A miracle. Still, she whispered to her belly, "We'll be okay without him, Lucas." But doubt crept in. The leaked affair texts went viral, Thorne betrayal trending. Alina saw the headlines, Billionaire's cruel messages exposed. Part of her felt justice. Another wondered if karma was teaching him. Alex's world cracked further. Stock plummeted another 10% as the scandal spread. Clients pulled out. Board demanded a leave of absence. "Your personal drama's tanking us," they said. It mirrored Elena's fall, from thriving marketer to begging for shifts. This is what she felt, he realized, staring at plummeting charts. The loss humbled him. No more billionaire armor. In therapy session 2, Dr. Ray's pushed, "Use this pain, reach out, but earn it." Alex nodded. No more watching from shadows. Alex's phone lit up at 2:14 a.m. A single text from Amanda. "She's bleeding. St. Mary's ER, room 407. If you ever meant a word you said, come now." He was out the door before the message finished loading. No driver, no security, just him in a hoodie and sweatpants, running red lights across the city. The rain hammered the windshield like punishment. He found Amanda pacing the corridor outside the maternity ward, eyes red. She started cramping at work, thought it was Braxton Hicks, then the blood. "They're trying to stop labor. She's only 34 weeks, Alex." Alex's knees almost buckled. "Can I see her?" Amanda hesitated, then stepped aside. "She didn't ask for you, but she didn't say no either." Room 407 smelled of antiseptic and fear. Alina lay small against the white sheets, monitors beeping too fast. An IV dripped magnesium sulfate into her arm. Another bag of blood hung ready. Her belly rose and fell in shallow, frightened breaths. When she saw him in the doorway, her eyes filled instantly. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered, but her voice cracked on the last word. Alex crossed the room in 3 strides and dropped to his knees beside the bed. "I'm here. I'm not leaving. Whatever you need." A contraction hit. She gripped the rail until her knuckles went white. He reached for her hand without thinking. She let him take it. The next hours blurred into a haze of beeping machines and whispered updates. Blood pressure 180 over 110. Cervix 4 centimeters and thinning fast. "We can't stop it anymore. We have to deliver." Elena's face crumpled. "He's too early. He's too small." Alex leaned his forehead against hers. "Then we'll fight for every gram. Together." The obstetrician entered, calm but urgent. "We're taking her to the OR for a C-section. The placenta is pulling away. Baby needs to come out now." Elena's grip tightened on Alex's hand so hard he felt bones grind. "I'm scared," she breathed. "I know. I'm right here." They wheeled her out. Alex followed until a nurse blocked him at the OR doors. "Family only in scrubs." "I'm the father," he said, voice raw. The nurse saw something in his eyes and stepped aside. Inside the operating room, it was cold and bright. Elena was already numbed from the chest down, a blue curtain shielding the surgery. Alex sat by her head, stroking damp hair from her face, whispering anything, everything that came to mind. "I'm sorry I wasn't there when you found out you were pregnant. I'm sorry I made you feel alone. I'm sorry for every cruel word I ever said. Just stay with me, Elena. Both of you, stay with me." Behind the curtain, the obstetrician's calm voice, "Scalpel, suction, okay, here we go." A thin, reedy cry pierced the room. Elena sobbed, one broken, relieved sound. "Boy," the doctor announced. 2,800 grams, he's breathing on his own." They brought the baby, tiny, red, perfect, wrapped in a blanket, and placed him on Elena's chest for skin to skin. His little fist opened and closed against her heart. Alex couldn't speak. He simply bowed his head and cried into the blanket, shoulders shaking. Elena looked at him through tears. "His name is Lucas," she whispered. "Lucas James." Alex lifted his head, stunned. "You gave him my name?" "I gave him the part of you that was once good," she said softly. "I want him to know that man existed." The neonatal team whisked Lucas to the warmer for checks, but the numbers were good. APGAR 8 and 9. Breathing steady. No NICU needed tonight. Later, in recovery, the room was quiet except for the soft hum of monitors. Lucas slept in the bassinet beside the bed, swaddled tightly. Elena was exhausted, pale, but awake. Alex sat in the chair, afraid to move in case the moment shattered. She spoke first. "I hated you for so long. I know. I built walls so high I thought no one would ever get through again." He nodded, throat tight. "But tonight," she continued, voice barely above a whisper, "when I thought I might lose him, the only person I wanted in that room was you." Alex closed his eyes, tears slipping free. "I don't deserve that." "Maybe not," she said, "but Lucas does. And maybe I'm tired of carrying the hate alone." Silence stretched, heavy and hopeful. "I won't ask you to take me back," he said finally. "I just want to be whatever you'll let me be. Father, friend, even just the guy who brings diapers at 3 a.m., whatever you need." Elena looked at the bassinet, then back at him. "One day at a time, Alex. That's all I can promise." He reached out slowly, giving her every chance to pull away. When she didn't, he rested his hand over hers on the bed rail. Outside the window, dawn broke over the city, soft pink light spilling across 3 lives that had almost been torn apart forever. The first night home from the hospital, Elena cried for 3 hours straight. Not from pain, though the C-section incision throbbed with every movement. She cried because Lucas was finally here, tiny and perfect, and the weight of doing it alone hit her all at once. Alex stood in the doorway of her cramped apartment, holding a diaper bag like it was a bomb, afraid to step inside uninvited. "You can come in," she finally whispered, wiping her face with the sleeve of her oversized t-shirt. "He's your son too." Alex crossed the threshold like he was entering holy ground. He set the bag down, washed his hands twice, and took Lucas when Elena's arms began to shake from exhaustion. The baby rooted against his chest, let out one small squeak, and fell asleep. Elena watched them, eyes swollen. "I still don't know how to do this with you." "I know," he answered softly. "We'll learn together, one feeding at a time." That became their unspoken contract. One feeding, one diaper, one sleepless night at a time. Week 2, Elena's milk came in and her body betrayed her with clogged ducts and mastitis. Fever spiked to 104. She sat on the bathroom floor sobbing while ice packs slipped off her chest. Alex found her there at 3 a.m., ran to the 24-hour pharmacy for cabbage leaves and lecithin, then sat behind her on the cold tile, holding the ice in place until the fever broke. "I hate that you're seeing me like this," she mumbled, half delirious. "I hate that you ever had to do this without me," he said against her hair. He slept on the couch that night, and every night after. Month 3, postpartum depression descended like a black tide. Some days Elena couldn't get out of bed. Alex would find her curled around Lucas, staring blankly at the wall. He learned to change diapers one-handed while heating bottles, to sway in the dark humming off-key lullabies, to text her therapist when the silence lasted too long. One afternoon she found him in the nursery, tears streaming as he rocked a screaming Lucas who wouldn't latch. "I can't even comfort my own son," Alex choked out. "I'm useless." Elena stood in the doorway, wrapped in his oversized hoodie, and for the first time in months, she walked over and laid her head on his shoulder. "You're here," she whispered. "That's not useless." Month 6, Lucas smiled for the first time, a real gummy grin aimed straight at Alex's ridiculous fish face impression. Elena recorded it on her phone, hands trembling. Later that night, she showed Alex the video. "Look what you did," she said, voice thick. "You made him smile." We made him smile, Alex corrected, and she didn't argue. There were fights, of course. The night Lucas rolled off the couch because Alex turned away for 2 seconds to answer a work call. Elena's scream of terror turned into a full-blown panic attack. Alex held her while she sobbed. "You can't disappear on us, not even for a second." "I resigned this morning," he said quietly, "effective immediately. I'm done splitting my attention." She stared at him, stunned. "You gave up the company?" "I gave up the version of me that thought a company mattered more than this family." Month 9. Lucas's first word wasn't mama. It was dada, clear as day, while reaching for Alex during tummy time. Elena's heart cracked open in a way she hadn't expected. She filmed it, sent it to Alex at the grocery store, and when he walked in 10 minutes later with tears streaming down his face and a carton of ice cream in each hand, she met him at the door and kissed him for the first time since the divorce. It wasn't fireworks. It was quiet and shaky and tasted like salt and forgiveness, but it was real. Month 10, Elena's therapist asked, "On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust Alex right now?" She thought about the 3 a.m. feedings, the way he learned to braid her hair when postpartum shedding made it tangle, the nights he held her when the nightmares came. 7, she answered. "Some days 8. "That's a miracle," the therapist said. On Lucas's first birthday, they didn't throw a party. They ordered pizza, put Lucas in a high chair with a smash cake, and let him destroy it while they sat on the floor laughing until their sides hurt. Frosting ended up in Alex's hair, Elena's eyelashes, Lucas's ears. When the baby finally fell asleep mid-bite, face planting into the cake, Alex looked at Elena across the wreckage and said, very quietly, "I want to marry you again. When you're ready. No pressure. Just, I needed to say it out loud." Elena's answer wasn't words. She crawled through the frosting, cupped his face, and kissed him slow and deliberate. Outside, snow began to fall, soft and silent, covering the city in a fresh layer. Inside, 3 hearts beat in the same rhythm for the first time in years. 3 years later, almost to the day Alex first saw Elena waitressing, they stood on a quiet Cape Cod beach at sunrise. Lucas, now 4, bounced in tiny barefoot excitement, clutching a velvet pillow with 2 simple gold bands. The only guests were Amanda, Marcus, Dr. Reyes, and Elena's aunt who had flown in from Puerto Rico. No press, no influencers, just the people who had witnessed the wreckage and stayed to watch the rebuilding. Elena walked toward Alex on a path of scattered rose petals, wearing the same red dress from that first fateful night, taken in at the waist, let out at the hips, altered to fit the woman she had become. Her hair was loose, wind whipping it around her face, and she had never looked more beautiful. Alex wore linen, sleeves rolled up, feet in the sand. When she reached him, he couldn't speak for a long moment. "You kept the dress," he finally managed. "You kept the man underneath the suit," she answered. They had written their own vows. No flowery quotes, just truth. Alex went first, voice rough with emotion. "Elena, 5 years ago I stood in a restaurant and watched the strongest woman I'd ever known carry trays while carrying our child alone. I didn't deserve to breathe the same air as you that night, but you let me earn my way back. One diaper, one nightmare, one 3 a.m. bottle at a time. I promise you the rest of my life will be spent proving I'm worthy of the space you've given me in yours and in Lucas's. I love you more today than yesterday, and I will love you even more tomorrow." Elena's turn. Tears slipped free, but her smile was radiant. "Alex, I spent a long time believing love was something you sacrificed yourself for. You taught me, the hard way, that real love doesn't ask for pieces of you. It asks you to become whole. You showed up every single day, even when I slammed the door. You became the man I always knew was hiding under the arrogance and fear. I stand here whole because you helped me put myself back together. I love you. Not the billionaire, not the CEO, just Alex. The man who knows every word to wheels on the bus and still burns the grilled cheese. I choose you. today and every day. Lucas, impatient, tugged Alex's pant leg. Rings now? Everyone laughed through tears. The officiant pronounced them husband and wife again. Alex kissed Elena like it was the first and last time all at once, while Lucas yelled, "Gross!" and the small crowd cheered. That night, back in their brownstone, Lucas asleep upstairs, Alex and Elena slow danced in the kitchen to an old playlist from their first marriage. The same songs, but everything different. "I kept one thing from the old house," Alex said suddenly. He disappeared and came back with a small wooden box. Inside was the red scarf Elena had worn the night he first saw her waitressing, cleaned, pressed, folded with care. "I found it in the lost and found the next week," he said quietly. "I couldn't throw it away. It reminded me what I almost lost forever." Elena touched the fabric, eyes shining. "Burn it with me?" They took it to the backyard fire pit. Together they watched the red wool curl and blacken, sparks rising into the night like tiny apologies finally set free. Later in bed, Elena traced the faint scar on Alex's hand, a burn from learning to make her favorite arepas at 4 a.m. when postpartum cravings hit. "Some scars remind us we survived," she whispered. He kissed the scar on her hand, the one he'd once ignored. "And some remind us never to forget." Years passed in quiet, ordinary miracles. Lucas's first day of kindergarten, Alex cried harder than Elena. The launch of Elena's marketing agency, Alex in the back row, applauding loudest. The night Lucas asked why mommy and daddy have two wedding pictures, one fancy, one on a beach. They told him the truth, age appropriate. Sometimes grown-ups make big mistakes, but if they're lucky and work very hard, love gives second chances. At night, when the house was still, Alex and Elena would stand in Lucas's doorway and watch him sleep, the rise and fall of his chest, the most precious rhythm in the world. One evening, catching them there, Lucas mumbled sleepily, "Love you, mommy, love you, daddy." Alex's voice broke. "We love you most, buddy." Elena leaned her head on Alex's shoulder. "We made it," she whispered. "No," he answered, kissing her temple. "You saved us, and I'll spend every day of the rest of my life thanking you for it." Outside, snow began to fall again. Soft, cleansing, new. Some stories don't end with happily ever after. They end with, and they kept choosing each other. Every single day. And for Alex, Elena, and Lucas, that was more than enough. If this journey from heartbreak to healing moved you, drop a message in the comments. Would you have given Alex that second chance? Like, subscribe, turn on the bell, because some redemptions are worth every tear. See you in the next one.